Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to the weekend preview for the Predictor League and the Patreon Fantasy Football. Again, off the top, if you want to join the Predictor League, there's a link in the description. Click on that, come and join in the fun, and yeah, it's never too late. But we do have to give, before we get to this week's picks, some credit to last week's Golden Cap winner, and that was Gaz Monster, 12.5 points. Well done, mate. Our defending champion, Rujasan, with a good week. Wolfman, myself, and Citizen Nev also cracking double points. If we scroll down here so everyone can see where they were, Math Bandit and Pompey Canuck forgetting to put their tips in, which is fine. So I think that's why we have a joint. I'm not quite sure why RTB managed to avoid a wooden spoon. But anyway, the game has its ways. Who am I to question them? So that's how last week went. Congratulations to Gaz Monster. And we have a quick look at how the league table stands. Urosh top, half a point ahead of Webby's Whites, who's dropped off. A little bit of a gap then back to Mac Volchi. We go all the way down. It's still very, very tight, isn't it? Gaz Monster moved up 4 places last week. I managed to move up a couple as well. So happy days for me. No longer, my back was getting sort of holding everybody up. So that is a great relief. Let's have a look and see what we've got this week. I started off strong last week, didn't I? And then it all kind of went a little bit wrong for me. All right, matches. Brighton versus Burnley. If there's a game that has 0-0 written all over it, this is probably it, isn't it? So there we go. Being Mr. Positive, we'll pick 0-0. Southampton versus Newcastle. Now, Danny Ings is out for this one. Do Southampton have other goals in the team? Probably. Is Newcastle going to come and try and absolutely destroy a game of football? They have Steve Bruce as manager, so almost certainly. So we'll say 1-0 just... Let's be really positive. 0-0 again. All right, Everton versus... No, that's harsh. I think Southampton will win that. Let's say 2-1. It's a bit better than 0-0. So let's say that. All right. Everton versus Manchester United. Has the bubble burst for Everton like it has for Aston Villa? It's a tough game, isn't it? And Manchester United were horrible midweek. Are they going to get a reaction or are they going to fall in a heap? I've got nothing against Manchester United necessarily, but I grew up watching football in the 90s, so I do hope they fall in a heap. It's sort of a little bit of a little bit of payback. So I'll go for Everton in that one. Crystal Palace versus Leeds United. Leeds had an off day, didn't they? I think they'll concede a goal. I think that Leeds will bounce back after a poor performance against Leicester. Although Leicester were maybe better than that. What's happened to Sheffield United this year? Chelsea are looking a little bit better. Sheffield United is a tough nut to crack, so let's say just the 2 goals in that one. West Ham versus Fulham. Are Fulham beginning to turn things around? Are West Ham falling away? Do I say 0-0 again? Let's say 1-1 maybe. West Brom versus Spurs. I mean, if you can't beat Fulham, you're in some serious trouble, aren't you? And Tottenham, I mean, time recording, they haven't played their midweek game, but you would imagine they're going to be too good, aren't they? Maybe a little bit of European hangover, so we'll say 3-0, although they'll probably rest the players in the Europa League, won't they, and be fresh for that one. Leicester versus Wolves. 2 very good teams, this one. Again, Leicester's going to be playing in Europe, aren't they? It'll probably be a tight game, won't it? Let's say maybe 1-1. Maybe a bit of a European hangover for Leicester. City versus Liverpool. I mean, this could literally be anything, couldn't it? It'll probably be 1-1, but it could just as easily be like 5-3 or something, couldn't it? And then the final game, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. We're going to lose 3 in a row, aren't we? Oh, reality is setting in, and I mean, Arsenal, again, they've got to play Europa League, but again, they'll probably rest their better players. Villa have not been good recently. It'll probably be a bit of a snooze fest, I think. Well, the Villa usually does well at Arsenal for some reason. Oh, let's be positive. Let's say we get a draw. All right, so there we go. Those are my tips. Don't forget to go and do yours. We've only got one. Only Gaz Monster, high on his golden cap, has managed to put his tips in yet. So don't forget to go and do those. A quick look at the fantasy football. I am beginning to slowly fall away, but a massive congratulations. Look at this for a week. 75 points from Kloppo FC, Urosh. Compared to everybody else, that is a stunning week. But it is still the Cobra Chickens leading the way ahead of Webby's Whites, or Webby's Wonder White, sorry, and Volchi FC. And of course, it's still very early days, so as long as you're in within 100 points, you're still very much in contention, I would say. My team this week, I want to make a change at goalkeeper there. I don't really trust us anymore, us being Villa, of course. So Pope goes in goal for this one, away to Brighton. We're going to go with Doherty. Tierney comes in now that he's fit, and Alexander-Arnold as my defence. I do love my midfield of Klitsch, De Bruyne, Captain Son, and Mr. Jack Grealish. And the striking trio, sorry. I'm never going to take Ollie Watkins out again, because I took him out against Liverpool. He got a hat-trick, so he will be a permanent fixture in the side, I should say. Vardy and Bamford as well will be the other three. I did notice, though, that I put Bamford in my fantasy team after his hat-trick against Aston Villa, and he went horribly off the boil last week, I should say. So that is my fantasy team. So there we go, guys. As ever, short and sweet. Congratulations to Gaz Monster. Congratulations to Urosh for their individual week wins in the 2 competitions. And I will see you this time next week for another weekend preview. Take care.